what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Ignacio.
Hey,
and
Ignacio.
I'm actually calling. Hey,
From,
how are you?
all right. How about you?
Good, good.
You said you're calling from
First,
Mexico?
yeah, actually, I am.
Wow. And have you been watching church or have you seen church before?
Yes, I've been following Lee Peterson for a while now, and
Right
I've
on.
been watching church.
Yeah, I think I remember you from that. Cool. Thanks for
Yeah,
calling. Welcome
yeah.
to the show.
Actually, I just wanted to comment really quick because I don't know how much to charge me per minute.
Oh,
But,
yeah. All right.
Yeah, but actually, I was deported, and it was definitely tough.
Yeah.
But I am I'm grateful. I'm grateful that happened because now I'm actually working really, really hard to, maybe eventually go back to the U.S. but under the correct laws. And I'm a bit tired of seeing these dreamers, and again they're just crying. They think it's the worst thing ever. They're going to get deported. There are millions of people living in Mexico. It's a great country, and maybe I won't be able to go back, but at least I'm making this country, which is my country, great. And I'm really happy to see Trump trying to build a wall.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to push Mexico to fix the problems it's been causing for the people instead of leaving the country.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good point. And it's like you said, it may be the best thing for these people to get deported, although they don't know what's ahead and stuff like that. It's the best thing for you to have the right thing happen. It's kind of like, dad's home with President Trump.
Exactly, and my deportation led to me reconnecting with my father, and
Wow.
now I'm able to become a true Christian because I'm here. I'm only with him. I only have his help. So, with the time, I had to ask him for. I had to forgive my father, and that has led me to a better life. And that would have never happened if I wouldn't have gotten deported.
Yeah. And they talk about how, deportation is going to break up families. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to if the families go with the kids or with the parents. But you're right. That's an interesting report. I had never even considered that. I knew one illegal alien who sent half his paycheck home to his kids, and his kids basically grew up without him. He spent 18 years here in the States. He's back there now again. But his kids basically grew up without him.
Yeah, it's a tough life, but don't be afraid of the challenge. I knew I was gonna get eventually deported because I was driving to university, and I grew up in Georgia in a small city called Calhoun. Well, it's actually a bigger city now, but I knew it was gonna happen, and I knew that was the best thing for me and the best thing for my family because through my forgiveness through my father. My sisters have also forgiven my father and my mother for what they did, and now my sisters are becoming Christian, and all this happened because I was deported. So, I again, like I said, I'm just a bit tired. The sanctuary stay and all that. Just, I mean, get them deported, and it is the truth. I mean. I hate to see California, Los Angeles, and other cities, they're just changing because people don't want to be part of the American culture, have those values. And I see it here where I'm living, and it just pushes me to become better and to help the people here in Mexico because the United States is not just the only place to live. It is the best place.
Yeah.
But there are other places in the world, and there are millions and millions of other people around the world that also need help.
For sure. We all have our challenges. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 27.
All right. Wow. And how long ago were you deported?
I think 7 years ago. I was 21 when I arrived, yeah.
Okay.
21 when they sent me.
So Obama deported you?
Yeah. And actually, I was studying aviation maintenance, and I couldn't get in an airplane or ride an airplane, and I was deported in an airplane. So it was like a sweet and sour experience because I was able to ride an airplane for the first time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't finish school, but it was great, and it just turned out great. Great thing that happened to me.
Did you know in advance that it was going to be the best thing for you, even though you dreaded it, or did you dread it?
No, I didn't. But something told me, and I was actually I started selling a couple of things I had in my room because I was living with my mom and my sister. So I started selling things, and I didn't know why, but I knew that I was gonna eventually come back. I didn't know it was gonna be the best thing.
Yeah.
And obviously in your 20s, you're still a bit lost.
So what happened? You were pulled over by driving without a license, and they basically, because of the state of Georgia is not as lenient as California, they deported you. What happened?
Yeah, actually, I was. I think what happened was, at least that's what the people were saying, that by the third time they pull you over, then immigration comes in, and that was the third time they pulled me over. The first time was I was actually going back home from wrestling practice, and I was driving because my mom couldn't do it. I was doing extracurricular activities, wrestling, and after that was the first time, and I went to jail for like an hour. Then they let me go. The second time was I was working at night and trying to save up money to go to university, and the officer, he didn't arrest me, but he took away the vehicle. I didn't go to jail, but I think that was definitely on my record. And then the third time, I actually dropped my sister off at high school, and at her high school, and I admit it. I took an illegal left turn, and then the officer he arrested me because I didn't have a driver's license. And that morning, probably 30 minutes later, after I was in the county jail, they informed me that immigration now has a hold of me, and if they don't come within like 48 hours, I think I would go, I would start getting processed, and then that eventually led to me being in prison for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Whoa.
And then I was deported after that.
Man, how and when did you find Jesse Lee Peterson?
It was through politics, and I saw him. Oh, what was it? To be honest, I don't remember. But what I do remember is I dove really deep into his videos. All the videos. Also Thomas Sowell. I'm a big fan.
Nice.
I love to read, and I just wanted to be a Christian for the longest time, but something kept blocking me. And Jesse, basically said, if you don't, forgive your parents, your father, and I did it, and it was the greatest thing ever. I don't have anger in my heart anymore. And the week after, I also forgave other people, and it has just been crazy. So now I get up and I read the Bible, and it has dramatically just changed my life. What Jesse continues to say, and it's just great, and it's just making me a better man. And these young kids down in Mexico, it's very sad, very sad. Just like it's happening to the African American community, and it's also happening in the Hispanic community in the United States. It's happening here as well. It's catching up in Mexico. The values here, they're starting to slowly disappear. People are becoming more liberal, things like that, and it's just going downhill. But I speak with people because I'm an English teacher, so it's I have an opportunity. I have a small platform to speak with these young guys and tell them the truth. Tell them the truth that they are not men just because they see the society. No, you have to first forgive your father, and I see that again and again. They have problems with their parents.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. And do they have the same out-of-wedlock birth rate as they have up here, where it's like upwards of 50%?
No, I looked at the statistics in the U.S., but in Mexico. I didn't look it up. It's a little bit harder to find good statistics in Mexico, just because the people or the companies that try to conduct these studies, they can't really go to the houses, because of people are afraid, who's outside, things like that, because of the very tough crime. So it's a little bit difficult to find those statistics, but I am seeing it that I see it in my own family, and I tell them that it's they're having children out of wedlock, and just because of some small problem, they just they end up splitting up, and that's just not right. They decided to have children or they decided to have sex before marriage, and there are consequences. And at the end of the day, who ends up suffering are the children, and the cycle continues.
Yeah, that's true. Well, good for you telling them that, because that's not always easy for family members and people who, quote unquote, love each other to tell them, because that's not the most comfortable thing.
No. But it's funny because they just look at me and they're just quiet.
They know you're right.
Yeah, exactly. It takes them a while. It took me many years, but eventually they'll get there.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't have any kids. No, I am actually waiting to starting to talk with this girl, but I told her that there's not going to be any premarital sex or anything, and again, I'm receiving respect, so I really like it. It's a very difficult thing to say to somebody you don't know that much, but it is powerful. It is very, very powerful, and I thank Jesse for this 100%, and it's just one good thing is leading to another good thing, and it's just at the end of the day, I am becoming a man, and it feels great. It feels powerful, and I see the truth. I see what Jesse says. There's good and there's bad, and I see it, and it is just powerful.
That's cool, man. And 27 years old, man. That's You never know who's listening and who's like Jesse says, you never know who's listening and who's really getting helped from the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I appreciate the call, Ignacio. Anything else?
No. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to speak. I'm a big fan. I subscribe to the channel and everything, and I'm working hard. And if United States gives me an opportunity with my skills to go back, I'll be grateful.
Nice.
And if not, I'm that country is the greatest country. And I'm bringing those values of Christianity that I learned and grew up over there, and I'm bringing them here. And that is just that's there's nothing else I can ask for. I don't have many things, but I have God, and I am rich, and I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams, and that's truly all I can ask for.
Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate your genuineness too. You're like a mature person at 27, which is only right, to be honest, but it's kind of rare, and so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, thank you, and good luck with the channel. I'm going to be a big supporter, and I love the shirt, King of the Cage.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Ignacio.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that's so cool. An illegal alien, a former illegal alien, called the Hague Report. You heard it here first. And Jesse's helped him out by just being an example and telling the truth. That is so nice. That guy, Ignacio, is such a normal guy. And yet he stood for what's right. And that's part of being normal, in my opinion. Because it's abnormal to be evil. And it should become less and less accepted to do wrong.